Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there's an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online.
Good day, class. Today we are going to have a quick road safety lesson. Step 1. Always stop when you get to the road. Step 2. You have to make sure to look left, right and left again. And as soon as you don't hear or see any more cars, then you are free to cross the road. Remember everyone, look left, right and left again. Now everyone, I hope that you will continue to cross the road safely. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, welcome to My Zone Online School. I am Teacher Hartung and our theme for this week is plants and growth. Now, before we get into any lessons, we have to remember to sanitize. Remember, we have to sanitize so that we can keep clean, safe and healthy. Now, let's see. Our lesson for today will be about reading comprehension, rounding off and time. Our first lesson for today, boys and girls, we are going to do some reading comprehension. So let's go to page 6 in our booklets. On page 6, it says we have to read the story and answer the questions that follow. Now, the heading for the story today will be A Tree in Namibia. Once upon a time, in a dry land, a tree struggled to grow. Her seed had been dropped by a bird from far away. The tree soon realized that there was not much water to help her grow in this land. She knew she would have to change things to survive in this dry land in Namibia. First, she started to stretch and stretch her roots. They were too shallow to find water in the hot sand. Slowly and carefully, her roots pushed deeper and deeper into the earth. The deeper they went, the easier it was to find water. Her soft green bark became thick and hard, so the strong winds could not dry it out, and the blowing sand could not harm it. She made her leaves thicker, so that they could store water for the driest times. The tree stood up strong and proud. It had learned to change to keep itself alive. Now, let's look at the questions. Question number 1. Who dropped the seed for the tree to grow? Who dropped the seed for the tree to grow? Question 2. What did the tree do with her roots to get water? What did the tree do with her roots to get water? Number 3. Where does the tree store water? Where does the tree store water? Number 4. What lesson did this tree learn? What lesson did this tree learn? Now, boys and girls, let's go back and read the story one more time. A tree in Namibia. Once upon a time, in a very dry land, a tree struggled to grow. Her seed had been dropped by a bird from far away. The tree soon realized that there was not very much water to help her grow in this land. She knew she would have to change things to survive in this dry land in Namibia. First, she started to stretch and stretch her roots. They were too shallow to find water in the hot sand. Slowly and carefully, her roots pushed deeper and deeper into the earth. The deeper they went, the easier it was to find water. Her soft green bark became thick and hard, so the strong winds could not dry it out, and the blowing sand would not harm it. She made her leaves thicker so that they could store water for the driest times. The tree stood up strong and proud. It had learned to change to keep itself alive. Right. Now, boys and girls, you can go ahead and go through the questions one more time and read the story one more time if you think it's necessary, and go ahead and answer all the questions about this tree in Namibia. I will see you shortly after this ad break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
For this part of our lesson, we are going to do some rounding off. So let's go to page 7 in our booklets. Right, so today we are going to round off to the nearest 10. Now in the booklet, you will see in the little rectangular block, there is a nice example given to you. It says there, round the following numbers off to the nearest 10. Okay, now remember grade 3s, you have to look at this example and study it carefully so that we can do the activity. Now, you have to remember that any number less than 4 or 4, 3, 2 or 1, you round to the previous 10. And numbers from 5 and above, meaning 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, these numbers you round up to the next 10. Okay. Now, in the activity, you see you have a few numbers there that you have to round off to the nearest 10. I am going to do 2 examples with you quickly. Okay. So the examples I chose was the number 12 and the number 48. Now, remember what we said, if the number is less 4 and less than 4, we round to the previous 10. But if the number is 5 and more than 5, we round up to the next 10. Okay, so if we look at the number 12, you have to now look at your units, which means you have to look at your number 2 to see, do I have to round to the previous 10 or do I have to round to the next 10? What do you think if you look at the number 2? That's right, grade 3s, you have to round to the previous 10 because we have the number 2 which is less than 5. Okay, so if we take the number 12 and round it off to the nearest 10, then it would be 10. Okay, then let's look at our next number, which is the number 48. Now remember, if it's less than 4 and less than 4, we round to the previous 10. 5 and more, we round to the next 10. So once again, we look at our units. Is our units less than 5 or more than 5? That's right, grade 3s, it's more than 5. It's 8, right. So that means we have to round to the next 10. And if we take the number 48 and we round it to the next 10, what will we get? Excellent. We get the number 50. Well done, grade 3s. Now, let's quickly hop back to page 7 in our booklets. You will see that you have a lot of other numbers that you have to round off. So before we get to all of those and I give you time to finish rounding off, in the next part of the activity they say you have to round the following numbers off by using a number line. Okay, now I took the first example and I am going to do it with you again. So the number that we have to round off is the number 35. And just above it, we have our number line. Okay, so what do we do first? We first have to find the number on the number line. So let's see, number 35 is all the way over here. So can you see? There you have your number 35. Okay. Now, can you tell me, do we round 35 to the previous 10 or do we round 35 off to the next 10? Excellent. 5 will be rounded off to the next 10. So that means we take our 35 and we round it off to the next 10, which gives us the number 40. Okay, so now you can go ahead and do all the other activities and fill in all the numbers on your own. I will see you shortly after this ad break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
Our last lesson for the day, boys and girls, will be about time. So let's go to page 8 in our booklets. Right, so there you see we talk about computation and today we look at time. Okay, Here we are going to look at minutes or hours before and after. Okay, so I put 2 examples down on the board. So I am going to do A and B with you. Okay, so remember we said we are going to look at minutes or hours before and after. Now, I put the little clock here for us as well, so we can then count together. Let's look at A. A reads, what time is 1 hour before 5 o'clock? Okay, now you will see here, I set our clock at 5 o'clock already. So now we have to look at what time will 1 hour before 5 o'clock be. Okay, so we have 5 o'clock here, and then we have an hour after 5 o'clock, which will be 6 o'clock. But we are not looking for after, we are looking for the hour before 5 o'clock. Okay, and what do you all see here? We have 4 o'clock. So 1 hour before 5 o'clock will then be 4 o'clock. Okay, right. Let's look at the second example. The second one reads, what time is 2 hours before 3 o'clock? Okay, so let's take our clock quickly and let's set it at 3 o'clock so that we can see what time we will have if we count 2 hours after 3 o'clock. Okay, so here we have 3 o'clock, then after 3 o'clock we get 4 o'clock. Remember, we have to count 2 hours after. Okay, so we count another hour after. That means we now get 5 o'clock. Let's count together one more time. After 3 o'clock you get 1 hour, which is 4 o'clock, 2 hours, which is 5 o'clock. Right, so the answer to this question will be 5 o'clock. Let's look at the question one more time. What time is 2 hours after 3 o'clock? And we counted 1, 2 hours, which gave us 5 o'clock. Okay, now boys and girls, I want you to go ahead and finish all the other examples on your own. Remember, if you have trouble, you can always ask a grown-up to help you, but remember, try to do it on your own first. That is how you learn best. Right, everyone? Now, I am going to go for a quick break. I will see you shortly.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
We have come to the end of today's lesson, boys and girls. Remember, if you have trouble with your work, always ask for help, but also try to do it on your own first. Now, I hope you will enjoy all those activities and have fun with all the work. Now, boys and girls, before we go, we have to remember we have to keep safe and sanitize. Please make sure you rub it in nicely and wait for your hands to dry. Now that I am sanitized and protected, I am going to have some fun. Now, before we go, let's first see if we can find our friend Zoshi. Do you see Zoshi anywhere? Because we are supposed to go for some fun time in the park. Can you see Zoshi anywhere? Zoshi! Oh, over here! Hello, Zoshi! Well, Zoshi told me earlier that he's very excited for the park, so we're not going to waste any more time. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.